Hey guys, today I'm going to be sharing with you my to-be-read books for August and September 2025. So before I head into my TBR for August and September, let's discuss very quickly my TBR from the last 2 months. That TBR went very well, and I say this all the time. I always feel like I'm being a little too over-ambitious, but I always get it done early. I always manage to get it done early so I can start my next TBR a wee bit early. And yeah, I'm trying to think. I believe for the most part, I enjoyed a pretty good hefty chunk of the books that I read from the previous TBR. I read quite a number of like horror themed books somehow. I don't know how that happened. For the most part, I believe that TBR went very, very well. So let's get into my TBR for August and September, you guys. Since January of this year, of 2025, I have been wanting to make my way through Bernard Cornwell's The Last Kingdom series, and that book consists of 13 books. That series consists of 13 books. So yeah, it's time to continue into Bernard Cornwell's Last Kingdom series. So I have the next 2 books that I plan on reading. The first one is Warriors of the Storm, and then the second one I plan on reading is The Flame Bearer. And yeah, these are actually books 9 and 10. I'm making my way through this series pretty well so far. I've not given up on it. But yeah, just really quickly, if you have no idea what Bernard Cornwell's Last Kingdom series is, you may know it through the Netflix TV series, because that was very popular over on Netflix. I love that TV series. And yeah, it just follows a young man during the Anglo-Saxon days, like during the reign of Alfred the Great. And yeah, this young man is both like, he's half Saxon, half Dane. It's a whole ordeal. So he's always kind of constantly at war with his religions. Is he a pagan, or is he a Christian? So it is. It's just a big heavy series with battle sequences and set during the Anglo-Saxon period. All that drama, all that angst, all that good stuff. The next chunk of books that I plan on making my way through August and September, I want to get through this trilogy right here, you guys. This trilogy has been lying around on my shelves for a very long time, and I believe this series is called The Daughter of Smoke and Bone trilogy. Maybe it might be called something else. I'm not quite sure. I should have probably looked on Goodreads really quick to see what the technical title of this trilogy is, but I'm going to call it The Daughter of Smoke and Bone trilogy. And the trilogy is by Laini Taylor, and I'm hoping I enjoy this. I actually did read the very first book in the series. I did read it a long time ago, like way over a decade ago, back when booktube first kind of got going, because yeah, I started my booktube channel back in 2013, and this series, kind of like 2013, 2014, something like that, this series was like all the rage, and people loved this very first book, and so I got it, and I did like it and enjoy it, and I did get like these next books at some point, but I never actually finished the trilogy, so I need to finally get this trilogy done so I can get them off of my shelves and get them accomplished. So if you don't know what this trilogy is about, I'm just going to read the synopsis for the very first book. It is a young adult series, if I've not said that already. Around the world, black handprints are appearing on doorways, scorched there by winged strangers who have crept through a slit in the sky. In a dark and dusty shop, a devil's supply of human teeth grows dangerously low. And in the tangled lanes of Prague, a young art student is about to be caught up in a brutal, otherworldly war. Meet Karu. She fills her sketchbooks with monsters that may or may not be real. She speaks many languages, not all of them human, and her bright blue hair actually grows out of her head that color. Who is she? That is the question that haunts her, and she's about to find out. So yeah, that's a very, very vague plot synopsis, you guys, and seriously, like I said, I read this very first book a long time ago, and I do recall liking it, but I honestly can't remember anything else about it, like what kind of the big thing is, so I'm almost going to be going into this almost as if it's the first time. So, like I said, the very first book in this trilogy is called Daughter of Smoke and Bone. Book 2 is Days of Blood and Starlight. And book 3 is a hefty beast of a book, and that is called Dreams of Gods and Monsters. Ooh. So after reading all of that, the very next book that I plan on reading is The Latest by Ruth Ware, you guys. I am super excited to get into the next book by Ruth Ware. It is called The Woman in Suite 11, and this is actually a sequel to Ruth Ware's very popular The Woman in Cabin 10. We are following the exact same character who we were introduced to way back in The Woman in Cabin 10. Her name is Lo Blacklock. So yeah, in the Woman in Suite 11, Lo, as we know, she is a travel journalist, so she gets invited to go to this to like the opening of this luxury Swiss hotel, and she's scheduled to have an interview with like the reclusive billionaire who created I guess this this hotel, you know. So when she does arrive at her scheduled interview to talk with this billionaire, the thing is, he doesn't show up. Instead, his mistress shows up, and she is claiming that she is in some sort of peril. And that's as much as kind of the synopsis has given us, and that's all I need. I just needed to know that this was a sequel to The Woman in Cabin 10, which I freaking loved. I'm excited to get back to this character again. Yeah, if Ruth Ware continues to write a bunch of books with the character of Lo, you know, I would totally be there. So yeah, I can't wait to get to this book, you guys. Hopefully it does not let me down. Please, Ruth Ware, don't let me down. And then the very next book that I plan on reading is The Latest by Claudia Gray in the Mr. Darcy and Miss Tilney mystery series. Yeah, like I said, this is book 4. It is called The Rushworth Family Plot. And I'm not going to sit and read the synopsis for this because it is book 4 in the series. All you really need to know about this entire series by Claudia Gray is that they take place in the world of Jane Austen's, you know, books. All of them are mashed together. You know, Pride and Prejudice, Northanger Abbey, Persuasion, Sense and Sensibility, Mansfield Park. I'm probably forgetting one. They are all mashed together into this universe. All the Jane Austen characters that you love, they all intermingle and converse. And there's all sorts of drama with them all together. So yeah, in this latest installment, it's once again another mystery, and our two main characters, Juliet Tilney and Jonathan Darcy. You can probably guess whose children they are from just their last names alone, obviously, if you've read all of Jane Austen. Yeah, Jonathan and Juliet, they are teaming up once again to solve the latest mystery. And it has something to do with the Rushworth family. So yeah, I definitely can't wait to get to this latest installment in the series. I have enjoyed the series thus far. They are just really sweet, cute, fluffy. That's all I need. And I do have room for one more book, so we're going to pull out my TBR jar and see what surprise book I pick. I did so well my previous TBR because I remembered to shuffle this, and I neglected to shuffle this again. So let's kind of let's dig in there. I'm going to dig somewhere here in the middle. Oh Lord, I'm worried I'm going to drop something. Oh my God. Okay, I have something. I refuse to let it go. I'm not going to let it go. Oh my God. Is my hand stuck? I think my hand might be stuck. Okay, here it comes. I have a piece of paper. I refuse to give it up. All these papers might be about to just come flying out. Okay, I got something here. This pink one? I'll go with this pink one. This pink one. I want the pink one. Yes! Oh my God, I am excited to get to this one. I just gotta figure out where in my room this book is, you guys. Okay, that took me a ridiculously long amount of time to try and hunt this book down. But yeah, what I picked from the TBR jar is The Madness by Dawn Kurtigik? I don't think that's correct. I'm gonna have to look up a proper pronunciation of her last name when I do get around to doing an actual review. But yeah, I'm excited to get to this. Let's see what it is about. Ooh, this is so pretty. Seriously, ooh, so pretty. Okay, let's see. With one unexpected email from her estranged best friend, Lucy, Mina Murray's carefully curated life is turned upside down. Suspending her psychiatric practice in London, she returns home to the windswept shores of Wales. Faced with everything she's left behind, she soon discovers that Lucy's symptoms mirror those of her mysterious amnesiac patient hundreds of miles away. With nothing but an untreatable sickness connecting the two women, and with Lucy's life on the line, Mina finds herself asking questions and being drawn ever deeper into a web of secrets, missing girls, and a powerful, nameless force at its center, one that has been haunting her for years. As terrible ancient truths begin to reveal themselves, Mina prepares to confront her own darkest secrets, and with them an evil beyond comprehension. Together with a group of smart, savvy women, Mina seizes one last desperate chance to stop the cycle that began so long ago. But there are dangers to inviting the attentions of what might not be a man, but a monster. So yeah, if you can't tell from the names of Lucy and Mina Murray, this is like a modern day retelling, imaginative retelling of some sort, Bram Stoker's Dracula, and I'm here for it. Definitely cannot wait to get to this. I think I've seen some pretty good reviews about this, that it's really good, so hopefully that's the case. So you guys, that is everything that I plan on reading for the next 2 months. In the comments below, have you guys read any of these books? Do you plan on reading any of them? Did you happen to read some of these and they weren't so good? Let me know. So that is it for this video. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And if you like this video, you may like these other videos. Bye guys.